This is CivilNet's Daily News Digest for Tuesday, November 19th. I'm Paul Chaderjian. Maria Titizian is on assignment in Istanbul. Right now, while war-mongering continues in Azerbaijan, its leader is about to come face-to-face with Armenia's president. Plus, activists angry over a proposed hydroelectric power plant block a major freeway. Charles Aznavour chimes in on how a popular actor is being treated after a fatal car crash. Later, from Wichita with Love, meet a young singer who's making it big in the Big Apple. The Presidential Press Service reports that Armenian President Sargsyan will be meeting with the President of Azerbaijan in Vienna today. The last time the two met was in March of 2011. That meeting was hosted by then Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. After their last meeting in 2011, the presidents issued a joint statement that said they had reached a mutual understanding of a number of issues. They said, quote, "Solutions of these issues contributes to creating conditions for the approval of the basic principles of Nagorno-Karabakh conflict resolution." End of quote. We'll bring you the latest about today's meeting in tomorrow's digest. No injuries reported over the weekend when Azerbaijani armed forces opened fire on civilian cars on a highway leading in and out of the Varan village in the Tavush region. This was the latest violation of the ceasefire agreement agreed upon in 1994. The Republic of Armenia's Defense Ministry spokesperson Arsen said that Azerbaijanis fired rounds from machine guns as well as large caliber artillery weapons. Armenia's Defense Minister Seyran Ohanyan says Armenia's armed forces maintained silence and did not return fire. Placo Domingo Jr., the 48-year-old son of the world-famous tenor Placo Domingo, performed in Stepanakert over the weekend ahead of his concert in Yerevan. Without missing a beat, Azeri media reports that Azeri Foreign Minister Elmen Abdullayev said that anyone visiting, quote, the occupied lands without approval by Azerbaijan is committing an illegal act that will be investigated. Armenian reporters asking Domingo Jr. if he was afraid of being blacklisted by Azerbaijan. The singer said he would be willing to go to Azerbaijan unless he would be executed by a firing squad. An update now on the double stabbing we reported over the weekend. An Indian student died Saturday night while being transported to the hospital. A 24-year-old Armenian woman also stabbed is recovering. Neighbors tell us the couple entered the man's apartment in Nor Aresh. The woman ran out a short time later, bleeding and asking for help. The man's body was on the street outside his apartment, and official police reports say the male victim was 28-year-old Danish Babu Sahab Singh. The report says the Indian national proposed to the 24-year-old Astrik Aghajanyan inside his rental unit on 8th Street. The police report says when Aghajanyan refused Singh's marriage proposal, Singh stabbed Aghajanyan in the abdomen with a kitchen knife. Police say Singh then used the same knife to cut his own neck and died from the self-inflicted wounds. Physicians who treated Aghajanyan say she has not been able to talk to police yet. Police also haven't released a forensics report that would affirm their conclusion that Singh attempted to kill Aghajanyan and then killed himself. More than 50 activists from Yerevan blocked the Yerevan-Tbilisi highway in the Vanatsor Marts area on Sunday the 17th. They told CivilNet that they wanted to grab the attention of the head of the lorry Mars and express their concerns about plans to construct a third hydroelectric power station in the Mars village. Traffic backed up for nearly 1 kilometer during the protest, and one of the protesters, Varan Bedrosian, told CivilNet that this third hydroelectric station will divert all of the water from the Mars River, which already serves as a source for 2 other hydroelectric stations. The activists say the villagers have been repeatedly expressing their position against the new power station, but have been bullied to change their mind. Last spring, only 6 members of the Marts community voted in agreement with the proposed construction. 310 villagers voted against the plan. Activists also organized a public debate at Mashtot's Park in Yerevan over the weekend. The topic of discussion was the mandatory pensions pay cuts that kick in on January 1st. The activists reviewed what they've done over the past week and outlined their outreach goals for the week ahead. The activists are hoping to create a union with others who oppose the new privatized pension plan, which will cut between 6 and 13% of their pay and set it aside for their retirement years. The activists are taking their case to lawmakers and the executive branch of government to demand that the pension plan be delayed for at least a year. A special session of the National Assembly to discuss the pension plan was to have taken place last week, but the ruling Republican Party boycotted the meeting and the National Assembly failed to reach a quorum. Also over the weekend, activists lobbying for accessible environments for people with disabilities gathered and marched towards City Hall. They want to deliver their letters of complaints to Mayor Daron Markaryan and demand that the city is made more accessible for people with disabilities. The activists say there are around 190,000 people with disabilities living in Armenia, and their ability to move around freely, to use transportation, and visit educational and cultural institutions are very restricted. The mayor's assistant Samuel Mertarjan met the activists and told them that 20 million dirhams, or about $50,000 of the city budget, has been set aside to build new ramps for wheelchairs. Charles Aznavour is calling for people to sign an online petition in support of actor Varan Bedrosian. Aznavour writes, quote, "Dear friends, help Varan Bedrosian by signing this online petition so that he can be taken to the hospital and receive emergency care. He needs every one of us. Thank you." End of quote. As you know, Bedrosian was involved in a car accident. 2 boys died as a result. He was charged with vehicular manslaughter and subsequently denied bail and kept at a jail hospital instead of receiving regular medical care outside. Hours after Aznavour's Facebook post, News.am reports that Bedrosian was moved from the jail infirmary to the Concord Cardiovascular Medical Center. At the Cathedral of Holy Echmiadzin over the weekend, Requiem services took place for the victims of the November 11th mortar attack in Syria, which killed several people, including 2 Armenian children. The children were killed near the St. Sarkis Armenian Church and the Holy Translator Armenian School in Damascus. And today at the monastery of Saint Gayane in the city of Echmiadzin, there will be a burial service for His Eminence Archbishop Arsen Berberian, who passed a few days ago at the age of 76. His body will be interred at the cemetery of the Brotherhood of Holy Echmiadzin. Archbishop Arsen Berberian was born in Egypt and studied at the Gevorkian Theological Seminary. He received his PhD from the King's College of London. He was consecrated as a bishop in 1972 by the Catholicos of all Armenians, His Holiness Vasken I. He served as the head of the Department of International Relations and Chancellor of the Catholicosate of all Armenians at the Mother See of Echmiadzin. He also served the communities of Sweden and Moscow, and he returned to Armenia, where he was appointed the Director of Information Services of the Mother See. His Eminence had produced numerous research projects, books on history and music, articles, as well as CDs and recordings. He was well versed and enjoyed classical music. Over the weekend in Warsaw, Poland, Azerbaijanis were crowned the chess champions at the European Team Chess Championships. The men's team from Azerbaijan played a 2-2 draw against Armenia in the final 9th round of the Open tournament. In one of the matches, Russia beat France, gaining the 2nd spot in the tournament. Russia came in 3rd and Armenia came in at 4. Today's exchange rate is on the screen in front of you as we look at the forecast. It'll be sunny in Yerevan and Gyumri. Yerevan will reach a high of 14 and Gyumri will reach a high of 6. Stepanakert will be cloudy with a high of 7. And today's travel forecast is from the Armenian community of Wichita, Kansas, where it'll be raining with a high of 15 or 59 Fahrenheit.
Paint is broken, I can see the crack, like hot water hitting cold glass.
You're watching Wichita native Melina Kurdian's video. Her songs have been heard on MTV and all sorts of venues all over the US. Melina was a guest of Global Armenians over the weekend, and we talked to her about her songwriting.
Whatever it comes to, even if the songs are not necessarily about me, there's always something personal, something that I believe in, or, you know, they say the personal is universal. So maybe I had my heart broken a little, and so I write about that, but I write sometimes from the perspective of everyone who's gotten their heart broken. Yeah, mostly, you know, love, loss, being enchanted with life, not understanding certain things about life and trying to work through them in my own way.
We also spoke to Melina about her career and how she gives back to young people through the rock and roll camp for girls. You can watch our entire interview by following the link on your screen. That is our digest for this Tuesday. We leave you with more now from Melina Chaderjian and a song she performs live between Here Now. See you tomorrow.